Welcome to Speak for Yourself. I'm Jason Whitlock. That's Marcellus Wiley, that dude.
Yes, sir.
Coming up, we'll tell you what the Kyrie Irving's rant about his future really means.
But we start every day with a Whitlock, so what you got today, big dog?
All right, 2 weeks ago, Bill Belichick broke my heart and put me in a clown suit when he and the Patriots went into Arrowhead Stadium and stomped out my Kansas City Chiefs. I lost $10K, swore off betting against Belichick on that day. That was then, this is now. I've emotionally recovered, and the truth is, I don't see the Patriots beating the Los Angeles Rams. Sunday's Super Bowl feels more than a season finale. It feels like a series finale. An all-time great TV show is about to air its final episode. Patriots Dynasty is signing off the air Sunday night. Generally speaking, the all-time great TV shows do not stick the ending. They end in a heaping mess with longtime fans dissatisfied and confused. Of course, you remember how The Sopranos ended. HBO just cut to black. We have no idea if Tony choked on a buffalo wing or is still sitting there with Carmela singing Don't Stop Believing. My favorite show, The Wire, ended with a shaky storyline about a fictional serial killer. The final scene of Mad Men featured Don Draper doing yoga and a Coca-Cola commercial. There's only one all-time great show that ended at its highest point, The Shield. Vic Mackey and Shane Vendrell were flawless throughout season 7, and the series finale is the greatest episode of television ever. I just don't see the Patriots dynasty going out like that. The Rams are the better football team from 1 to 53, and Rams coach Sean McVay and defensive coordinator Wade Phillips are the equal of Bill Belichick. In The Wire, it took Omar Little and Brother Moves On teaming up to take out criminal mastermind Stringer Bell. Stringer was too slippery for the cops and Omar on his own. Bill Belichick was too slippery for Andy Reid, and the Chiefs had the same kind of talent advantage over the Patriots as the Rams do this weekend. The Chiefs didn't know how to exploit it. McVay won't have that problem. He's been a better coach than Belichick during the postseason. McVay talked his high-priced, flashy team into mauling the Cowboys in a street fight. He turned the Saints game by faking a punt deep in his own territory. He benched all-pro running back Todd Gurley during the NFC Championship, and Gurley didn't remotely object to the decision. McVay is Luke Skywalker, and he's ready to slay New England's Darth Vader. We all agree the Patriots have been vulnerable. Their defense doesn't have a star. Their offense lacks explosiveness. Tom Brady is showing a bit of his age. His touchdown to TD ratio has dipped this season. I think we're looking at an ending as ugly as The Sopranos. The Rams are going to dominate New England. All right, joining the desk now, former Pro Bowl wide receiver T.J. Houshmandzadeh. Marcellus, I'll start with you.
Yeah.
You like my pick of the Rams?
No.
No?
No. And I know they're going to try and pull my L.A. card, but you can't.
Wow.
Because I'm from L.A., and I know how to survive in South Central. So you can't do it, but dang, it's going to be hard walking through these streets.
This is shocking to me. I thought for sure you'd be on the Rams.
Well, I can separate my elements, my heart from my mind and my rooting interest. My rooting interest with the Rams. My heart is with the Rams. But my mind is telling me, man, will we stop betting against Belichick and the Patriots? And here's an amazing stat about the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Their 8 appearances, all of them have come down to 8 points or fewer in terms of outcome. You never blow out the Patriots, and the Patriots will never blow you out in the Super Bowl. All 8 are one-possession games. So you trying to tell me that the Rams going to come up in there now and change all of that? I don't see it. The same Rams that had their struggles with the Kansas City Chiefs, and we saw when Belichick finally had time in a couple weeks to see the Chiefs coming, what he was able to do to them in the playoffs. The first half, not a point scored. I'm looking at this as where Belichick's going to have his wrinkle. He's going to force you to go to plan B. He's going to take away your best player. And then he's going to look at you and say, what you going to do now? And if Todd Gurley is having the same kind of issues he had, whether it was physical or mental, in the NFC Championship game, and Jared Goff first time on this stage, those bright lights, you can't dim them. Can't turn them down. Sean McVay, first time in this situation. There's an hour pregame festivities. The halftime is longer. There's so many adjustments to make beyond the game of football. I just think the Patriots, their experience, and the way that they're playing right now, they're going to be able to win this game.
Jason, I'm with you. When I examine this game, and you go back to, let's go back, technically my rookie year, February 3rd, 2002, Super Bowl 36. That was Belichick's and Brady's first Super Bowl win against the Rams. They won 20-17. Things are going to come full circle now. That's where their dynasty started. This Sunday, February 3rd, 2019, it's going to end.
Is that a gut feeling or is that a?
When you look at when I look at these teams, New England is better at one position, and it's a major position, which is the quarterback position in Tom Brady. The Rams have what you need to slow New England down, pressure up the middle. We don't have to sack Tom Brady. They do not make him feel you. Touch him here and there so that he gets a little antsy when he's throwing the ball. You have to press their receivers so that he holds the ball, so that he hitches a couple times. That's what Wade Phillips is going to do anyway. They're not going to blitz. They can get 4 first-round picks on that D-line.
Yeah.
Michael Brockers, Ndamukong Suh, Aaron Donald, Dante Fowler. They got to go work. They're not going to blitz. They're going to get pressure up the middle, and that's going to get Tom Brady off his mark.
Who's the best offensive lineman on New England? I'll give you a hint. It's Tom Brady. Oh, that's the answer. You know why? 2.5 seconds or fewer, he's going to throw the ball. Quickest release in the league.
It's easy to get rid of the ball in 2.5 seconds when the corners are playing off coverage. But when I get in your face, now you got to beat me off the line. Now get into your route. It ain't that easy.
Marcus Peters, you going to put him in press man? We want to see that. Marcus Peters wants that. That's not what he's good for. Huh?
It doesn't have to be all the time.
Okay.
Enough time.
Well, we saw him when he did it enough times earlier in the season. That wasn't
Against
good
who, though?
New Orleans. New Orleans?
Against who?
Oh, you talking about Thomas, Michael Thomas?
There you
go. Are you
go.
trying to say Julian Edelman in the phone booth can't expose Marcus Peters? Yes.
Julian Edelman is on. Julian Edelman can.
Yeah.
But we cannot let Julian Edelman and Gronkowski beat us. What they do to Michael Thomas when they played the Saints, as you told me?
Yeah.
Put him on a milk carton.
They did.
And so you think they going to let Julian Edelman win this game? No.
Okay, then James White leaks out the backfield. That's the problem. See, if you want to play press man, then you're going to expose Marcus Peters to a degree. You want to play your normal zone, all of a sudden we're going to have the backs out the backfield. Like, pick your poison, and that's going to be the interesting game play.
You got to put the ball in Tom Brady's hands. I'd rather Tom Brady throw the ball 45 times and you run the ball for 125, 30 yards. You got to stop the run. Stop the run. You stop the run, you beat New England.
And Marcellus, I think TJ's point, and it's certainly mine, is yes, Brady's release and ability to diagnose the defense allows him to get the ball out quicker than damn near everybody.
Everybody.
But not every time.
Right.
And so it's, again, what do you do those 6 to 8 times when he has to hold the ball? And if you can touch him on 2 or 3 of those, you can get him off his mark. And again, Wade Phillips against Tom Brady in the postseason, I think a touchdown to interception ratio, 6 TDs, 5 interceptions.
Right.
I think Tom Brady has thrown enough interceptions. Again, I'm looking at that Chiefs game where he should have thrown 3. You can get him off his square, and Marcus Peters is a specialist at baiting a quarterback into thinking he's got to throw and then jumping in there for the interception. Aqib Talib also. I just think they're going to turn Brady over a couple times. I think they're going to touch Brady a couple times. And again, for the most part, Brady's going to be himself most of the time. When he's not, I think they're going to exploit it.
Man, I need to give myself props for this objective analysis because I am literally saying stuff that I don't really want to happen, but I just see it occurring. One, the best pass rushing defensive line in the league is not the Rams. It was the Chiefs.
Okay, can I say something?
You better interrupt me because you don't want this to start flowing.
Where did they play at?
Arrowhead?
Was it great footing?
No.
You're a D lineman. No. Is that get off going to be good in Kansas City like it is in Atlanta?
No, it's not.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, respect. Okay. So we're going to say the situation is obviously going to be neutralized. You're in the dome in this situation.
Let me add this.
Man, y'all know this.
I just want to add this.
Both sides.
Kansas City does have the best pass rush, 52 sacks. I think them and the Steelers.
Right.
The Rams have the best pass rush personnel. There's a
individuals.
difference.
Okay, okay. I'm going to say this. All right, you want to try to beat up that point? Here's my second point. If you want to look at the last 6 games for the Patriots, you know how many times Tom Brady's been sacked? 5 times. Like literally 5. So that's 6, plus you got a bye week. That's 7 weeks. Tom Brady in the last 2 months has been sacked 5 times. You're not getting to him. When we used to play against Tom Brady, I was in his division, we used to play against Peyton Manning, and we had tremendous defenses, #1 defense. We had the best sack sack artists in the league's history. When we face those boys, you know what we'll say? It's not a move in the world you can use to get to them if they're feeling comfortable with a line that can protect them. And how do they feel comfortable? If the offense is flowing. If you're giving me press coverage, okay, fine. We'll expose the one that can't do it. If you're going to go back and play zone, that's fine. We'll leak out the backfield. They're going to have multiple ways to expose the Rams, where the Saints didn't fully expose the Rams. I think the Patriots and their genius and their efficiency is going to be able to do it.
It's not about getting sacks. It's not about getting the sacks. It's about making Brady feel that pressure. He feels you. He throws the ball. You touch him.
Yeah, Denver. When Denver got out.
That's all you want to do. You want him to feel you. And the good thing about the Rams, they don't have to blitz. So you're talking about throwing the ball out the backfield. They always going to have a lurker or a robber in the middle of the field, so that backer that is covering James White, he can shade outside. I'm going to make you go right inside to my help because we're not blitzing. We're going to get home with 4, so now I got 7 in the back end for coverage. Brady is going to be Brady. My key to this game is the Rams have to stop the run. They cannot run the ball. Make them one-dimensional.
Let me say why I'm really shocked, Marcellus, is because you spent the entire football season telling me about Sean McVay.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, man, I got to see it, I got to see it, I got to see it. I've seen it. And it's like, this young dude is the next Belichick.
Oh, yeah.
And so, you're sitting there talking about what Belichick's going to do. Are you thinking about what Sean McVay is going to do? And then he has Wade Phillips. That combination, I think, is going to be pretty powerful. I think it's going to be the equal of Belichick and Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, look, I hope you're right, but it's been too many times I bounced into a YMCA and saw the old man with the headband and the socks pulled up. And I'm like looking at that sensei like, I got you, bro. And no, I don't, because he is too efficient with what he does. And they always keep the secret sauce close. No matter what you can learn from somebody else through osmosis, through witnessing, there's always a secret sauce. Grandma knew how to stir it. She could give you the recipe. She just stirred it a different way. Belichick is still out there. You could be the next Belichick, but the Belichick that exists right now hasn't left anywhere. And for us to say that the dynasty is over, how many times are we going to predict their demise and be wrong about it? Nostradamus predicts 1,000 things, gets 2 right. Oh, he's a genius. Oh, he's right. Oh, my God, confirmation bias. Stop it, y'all. They were in the Super Bowl last year. We predicted their demise. They're in the Super Bowl again this year. We predict their demise. I think they may be in it again next year if Kansas City doesn't come in over.
I mean, that's the thing.
It.
There's a lot of good teams in the AFC, young, coming up. The way I see it, it's just almost ironic. February 3rd. 2002, February 3rd, 2019. That's how I see it going.
Oh,
again,
stop that. What's your sign? What's your sign? We going into Australia. What's your
There's a
sign?
little something to that, man.
Horoscopes. What's next?
I mean, but if you
TV guide,
if you root for the Patriots, you can look at it and say, okay, we won our first one. We're gonna win our last one. I mean, you can look at it that way as well. Make the Patriots killed San Diego and killed the Chiefs.
LA, yeah.
Because San Diego, the Chargers.
Yeah.
Because they ran the ball. That first drive, they ran the ball. They killed them mentally.
Yeah.
We gonna punch you in the mouth and we gonna run the ball. You can do nothing about it.
You know why?
You have to stop that run.
You know why they were allowed to run the ball? Because you have Tom Brady in the passing game. And look, it's not full of big names, but it's so potent and efficient, and they have an option route on every route. You know this. Chad was up there for a few seconds, and everybody I know that's played there, they're like, dude, cornerbacks can't cover us. With our chemistry with Tom Brady, the fact that he's going to get the ball out and we can read your coverage and have options per route, it's nothing you can do. You play inside, he's out. You play out, he plays in.
But if I'm in your face pressing you, it slows you down.
Yes, it does.
It slows you. And those receivers, they're not Julian Edelman will get open.
Yeah.
But if we're not playing 2-man like the Chiefs were playing. We just let Edelman run down the middle because we don't banjo inside.
Yeah.
I'm playing you man to man. This is my guy. I got a robber in the middle. Tom Brady got to be perfect, and he might be.
Oh, that's hard.
He might be perfect, but if they don't run the ball, it is not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter.
All right, stick around later in the show. We'll give you our latest approval ratings for Patriots head coach Bill Belichick, and Uncle Jimmy will weigh in. Jimmy, you got any early thoughts so far?
This feel more like an episode of Breaking Bad or something. Now that we done got this big dummy done jumped on the Rams bandwagon.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, guys. Jason Whitlock here. Thank you for listening to the Speak for Yourself podcast. If you like what you hear, then you should take a minute to check out the Maybe I'm Crazy podcast hosted by The Herd's very own Joy Taylor. On the Maybe I'm Crazy podcast, you'll tap into a different take on the world of sports. Joy will break down all the biggest stories from the NFL, NBA, culture, in and out of sports, and everything in between. So subscribe now for a weekly episode of Maybe I'm Crazy every Tuesday night on your favorite podcast platform. Now back to the show. Whitlock and Wiley, we're joined now by longtime NBA player Coutinho Mobley. Time for a big story, sponsored by Papa John's. 2 medium, 1 topping pizzas, just $6 each. All right, let's move to Kyrie Irving, whose future has been a subject of increasing speculation lately. The Celtics are in New York to play the Knicks, who just traded Kristaps Porzingis and cleared cap space to sign a couple of max players. And when Kyrie was asked if he was planning to stay in Boston, he didn't exactly sound committed to his current team.
I'm a normal human being at the end of the day. I don't want to answer all these questions about my future all the time. You know, it's unfair to me. I spent the last 8 years trying to do what everybody else wanted me to do in terms of making my decisions and trying to validate through the media, through other personnel, managers, anybody in this business, and I don't owe anybody.
Wow.
Kyrie Irving doesn't owe anybody anything.
Not a thing.
Preach.
You buy that. You believe it. He doesn't owe anybody anything.
All right, I'm trying to help him sell it. What you mean buy it?
Who does he owe? Tell me who he owes.
Yeah, I'm listening. Jason Whitlock.
See, this is my whole problem with the modern millennial, the modern culture. We all buy into this narrative that we don't owe anybody anything. And I spend most of my day trying to repay the debts that I feel like I owe to everybody that helped me get here and stay here. And so this whole mentality of I don't owe anybody anything, this is not going to last for long or play forever with NBA fans. This mentality of I don't owe anybody anything. Okay.
Context matters. And look, if
That
you're-
is a
if-
mentality.
if
I
you're-
don't owe
if
anybody
you-
anything.
He doesn't. Not in terms of talking about my contract status with organization. People were trying to use the fact that he said something to some season ticket holders earlier in the summer, and he committed to the organization long term, and now he's going back on those words. That's why we have contracts, because words don't mean shh. You know what I'm saying? Like, people change, things change, circumstances change. I can change my viewpoint.
I wanted not to interrupt you, but
But do it.
Go ahead.
who does he owe in Boston?
I'm listening.
Tell me who he owes in Boston. Now, listen, if he was with LeBron, which he was, and LeBron told him how to win, and the thing that happened with the situation with him and LeBron, okay, I owe him a better explanation. Things should have been better. But tell me who he owes in Boston, where Danny Ainge, I love you, Danny Ainge, but Danny Ainge is for that franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So if he ships him out like he did Isaiah, and what's best for that franchise, I don't owe you not one thing. I'm worried about me and my family.
My belief is that all the players, not just Kyrie, but all the players owe the game something. And there used to be a mentality about sports, I want to leave the league better than what I found it.
Ooh, I got something for you.
And I think this mentality of I don't owe the game anything and I'm just going to do what's best for me, I just don't think it works well in the long run.
Marcellus said it. The context. Do Kyrie Irving, is Kyrie Irving known as a lazy player? No.
No, not at all.
Kyrie Irving, in the summertime, do Kyrie Irving work his hardest? That's paying the game homage. That's what you do. You work hard so I can be able to, when people sit down and watch me, whether it's TV or inside or courtside or whatever it is, I pay. I'm being respectful to the game. But when it comes to my decisions, just like Anthony Davis or whatever it is, when it comes to my decisions, who do I owe?
You don't owe anybody.
I don't owe not one person nothing.
Not any of his teammates currently,
I'm
and
working
not the
hard.
coaching staff, not Danny Ainge. I'll tell you why. Danny Ainge, last year, were you adamant when the conversation started to become an uproar about the Celtics are better without Kyrie Irving? Big question mark throughout the playoffs because they were winning without Kyrie Irving. And Kyrie Irving sitting there on the sidelines at times. And meanwhile, he's like, who's going to come to my defense and realize you guys are not better without me? It's just you're playing above your head. Second of all, you players, I love y'all, but Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, hey, Gordon Hayward, when y'all going to take the next step? because I'm trying to show you guys love and put my best foot forward, but I'm not seeing it reciprocated. And to the people of Boston who are sitting there saying, hey, no, Kyrie, you can't leave us. Loyalty. This ain't Larry Bird. This is a dude who forced the trade to get there and may do the same thing to get out of there.
You haven't even been there a full year.
I mean,
what do I owe you?
I don't understand what I owe you in the contract status.
Again, y'all are former professional athletes. I'm a lifelong fan. And again, when I just look at the current NBA atmosphere and this mentality of I just want to be happy and wherever I can go to be happy, and just if I don't like it here and I don't know anybody, I don't know my teammates, I don't know fans, I don't know the city, I don't know the NBA, anything, they're creating an atmosphere and an environment, and I think a bitterness among fans that's going to undermine the NBA.
I have a question for you. Because a lot of times we say how sports mirrors life and it's a microcosm. And if it's really, truly reflective, how come in the real world, everyone can move around freely and upgrade their situation without any anxiety or any backlash?
Well, a college student can't. A coach can transfer in 2 seconds. College student, you have to wait, sit down,
when it comes to the athlete, collegiate or pro, where's all the resistance coming from where in any scope, you could be a VP one place or a CEO one place, you want to move to another company, not a problem in the world. Upgrading is suggested and encouraged. But in athletic realms, how come it's that kind of resistance?
Because the athletes are placed on a pedestal and rewarded financially at a very young age in a way that other professions just don't. And their actual contribution to society is so minimal beyond a few moments of entertainment that, again, their rules are a bit different than an executive that makes $150,000 a year at some company, has 2 or 3 kids that he may be trying to put through college. When he makes that move to go get $175,000 or $200,000, it's a little bit different than guys that are making $100 million at age 24 to 30 to 32. And again, the rules of the game, in order to keep that competitive balance and to keep the whole league healthy, there needs to be a bit more structure than just players decide, you know what, I ain't happy here, and I want to play with LeBron.
The same athlete said, hey, I'm not going to cheat the game. I'm going to play the game, and I'm still going to be a superstar because only superstars really can demand this. However, where I play the game, remember, y'all forced me to land at this locale. You drafted me, which is synonymous with forced to play here.
What if he wasn't that good? Would fans from Boston even bother? What if he wasn't that good?
If
they wouldn't care. Exactly. They would not care.
Yeah.
So because he's so good, it's not about him. It's about what you're doing to my franchise. It's basically saying what you're doing to me, my franchise. And if you leave us, then we're stuck.
He's compensated in a way that he should deal with some of this frustration.
He's dealing. He's giving 110% of working.
He's on the phone right now trying to figure out where he's going to play next year or the year after. He ain't all in with Boston. He done played his cards.
But compensation,
he done let his cards in on
compensation is rewarding me for my work and services. It's not buying me. It's not buying my identity and choices and freedoms. It's not doing that. Because you know what? That's what the draft did. And then now, once I got freedom, free agency. Dang it, what is that free word?
Y'all don't see that from Jimmy Butler to Kawhi to Kristaps Porzingis to Anthony Davis. There's a virus being spread.
It's not a virus.
Are you kidding me?
No, the guys you just named, I wish we had more time. The guys you just named.
Go ahead.
Anthony Davis, 7 seasons. 7 seasons. 23-41.
The first 3 of them, he was a baby and still in diapers.
Okay, 23-41, 29-38, 39-29. That's his first 3 seasons. After that, 24-37, 31-44, and 45-30. I'm out. 2 winning seasons? I need to go do something else. Kawhi Leonard. Okay, you know what? I don't want to be in San Antonio with bats no more. I want to get out of there. I want to do something else.
With who?
With bats. I don't feel like chasing bats. That nigga stuck in my braids.
And all those championships.
Yeah.
they were winning. He's playing for the greatest
I
coach.
got some. I want to challenge
I
myself
got one.
more now.
Kyrie got one, too.
I want to
He don't
challenge
wanna
myself
challenge
more.
himself more. He
Now,
wants to
Jimmy
come home
Butler's
to
to me
LA.
is a little different. Jimmy Butler's a little different because I don't think Jimmy Butler's a superstar, and I like Jimmy Butler a lot. But the way his antics and the things that he does, that's him. But that's not an Anthony Davis. That's not a Kyrie Irving. That's not
It's a virus, man.
Nah.
You're looking at the early stages of a virus
I
that
hear
will
what you're saying.
continue to spread,
It's-
and it's going to undermine the NBA.
It's called evolution. Look, in the 80s, the players were just excited to get those type of contracts. Remember, Magic Johnson, 25 years,
Yeah.
$25 million. Come on.
Are we serious? Michael Jordan.
Then Jordan in the 90s was like, wait a minute. Not only am I going to get the max, but I'm going to get a one-year deal so I can have freedom to keep leverage. And then now the players of today, LeBron, et cetera, and we go on down to Anthony Davis, they have the money, the power, the enlightenment, and now they're starting
They're
to demand it.
educated. They're
Thank you. It's
educated.
enlightenment,
That's
brother.
all it
Not
is.
a
It's
virus.
about your education.
And listen, it's great for the players. I don't think it's great for the league, and there will be a penalty to pay for this. And again, it may take 5, 7 years for me to have everybody, this group together again, and I'll be like, man, you were right, Whit.
No, I
I hope
agree.
I'm
It's
here
not
with y'all
great
to
for the
talk about
model of the NBA. I agree. It's not great for the model of the NBA because it's a suggestion that minor, small market teams or teams you're not happy with are farm systems. We get it. It's not good. There's going to be certain destinations. But, hey, the Knicks were told yesterday that their star player didn't want to be there. And you can't get bigger in the NBA in terms of exposure and opportunity than in New York.
There hasn't been any superstar guys but Anthony Davis that been in small market teams that so-called complained. Jimmy Butler, you were with
George?
LeBron James.
Paul George, Indiana Pacers, they're
yeah,
franchise.
well-
They're a pretty good franchise.
Yeah, but he complained and quit and left. LeBron James quit on the Cleveland Cavaliers his first time around. You know it, and everybody else knows.
Man,
you
he gave him
know
7
he-
years.
Hey, now if you don't
Coutinho.
stop this,
And they went to the championship.
Against Boston. Not talking about Boston the first time around.
nobody will
He
come
quit.
there.
He quit.
You're not going to Cleveland right now to buy no pretzels or nothing.
Yeah, why you don't live in Indianapolis
You're not
anymore?
buying.
I
You're
would
not
love
going
to.
there.
Why you don't live in
I'm
Kansas
trying
City?
to get him to move this show to Indianapolis. I would love to.
You didn't tell me
boy.
that. You didn't tell me
You didn't
that.
tell me it either.
Hey guys, Jason Whitlock, Marcellus Wiley here. Thanks for listening to the Speak for Yourself podcast. If you're looking for more Super Bowl Sunday fun, here's your answer. During the game, come hang out with us at the Fox Sports Super Bowl party. From in-depth analysis to hilarious bet payoffs, this is sure to be the craziest Super Bowl event you've ever seen. Join in on the fun with Mark Schlereth, Dean Blandino, TJ Husmanzada, and Jason McIntyre on the Fox Sports Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube pages, or foxsports.com, starting at 6:15 p.m. Eastern. Whitlock and Wiley.
Yeah.
Time to get antisocial. Coutinho Mobley is back. Time for my favorite segment. I got my Twitter off here. If I ever hit you with the Twitter off, Coutinho, hit him. Don't make me do
As
it.
long as it smells good.
Right.
Darnell Smith, our social media manager, is here to walk us through these Twitter streets.
Where you
What's
at?
poppin'?
Where you at?
Right here, man. I'm in the place to be.
Oh, that sweatshirt. Let me see that. What's that?
Best of the Midwest Combine. Shout out to Coach Brookie from Warren Central, man.
All right.
Hook him up with the gear.
Oh, you can't get a national combine shirt? Like, you got to break it up into sections? Best of Crenshaw area.
You such a hater. Let's start off with everybody's favorite athlete, LeBron James, who teased his comeback with the calm before the storm Instagram post. LeBron showed up big in a huge win against Marcellus Clippers, flirting with a triple-double and getting the Lakers a game behind the Clips for the 8th seed in the West.
Oh, behind still? Oh, okay.
One game.
It counts.
Do you think if LeBron gets the Lakers into the playoffs, they can make some noise?
For sure.
That easy.
Boy, stop.
Wait, no, listen.
No, because they
You know
going
what
to
they
barely
say?
get in.
You know what they say? It's always truth in the joke. That wasn't a joke, though.
Oh.
So because you laughed,
Yes. I'm listening.
it's LeBron James, man.
And they going to have to.
What you mean, and?
Look, they're the 9th seed right now. If they're lucky enough to be the 8th seed and try and pass the Clippers, good luck with that. Even if you get in, guess who's going to be the 1 seed? I'll wait.
I don't care.
Golden State. They ain't going to do jack
Listen,
against Golden State in the
as
first
long
round
as
of
he
playoffs.
get in. When the last time they been in the playoffs?
Hold on. It
5
said
years?
make noise. I didn't say get in. Make noise.
He gonna make noise.
Let me tell you the noise he's making. Let me tell you the noise he's making. When they announced like an hour, 2 hours before tip-off that LeBron was playing, that was the final sign that Anthony Davis is on his way to Los Angeles.
I thought the same.
If
I thought the
LeBron ain't playing unless AD's on his way here.
Boy.
And so
I went to the game. You should see how many fake hugs he was giving out. All right, boy, you got about a couple more days. All right, couple more days. Zubas couldn't hit a shot because he know he gone. Kuzma, horrible game. Like, them dudes were tapped out. Their hearts were gone, boy. One-way tickets, New Orleans. Where y'all going?
All right, Darnell, what's next?
Yeah, reigning Defensive Player of the Year and Jazz center Rudy Gobert reacted to his All-Star snub today. Take a listen.
Yeah, it was a rough night. My mom called me crying. It was tough. So.
Draymond Green seemingly took a shot at Gobert afterward, tweeting, "I guess I should cry too. No Charlotte." Look, I ain't got no problem with him showing his emotions. I just didn't think NBA players cared as much about making an All-Star team. What y'all think?
I'm sorry.
I mean, stop it, Tito.
Give me a second.
You stop it. Tito, give me a tissue. Jermaine, stop
Let me break some news.
Are we serious
Let me
here?
break some news to you before you go off.
Yeah.
He had a stipulation in his contract. He got $1 million had he made the All-Star.
So you're going to get $600,000. Okay, so what, man? Are we serious?
No, I would cry over that.
$1 million?
Hold on. I ain't crying over the million. I'm crying over the fact that I deserve to be an all-star. When it's all done, when your kids look up to you and never saw you play and they say, "Daddy, where were you?"
Listen,
you can say some of these
I got
accolades.
robbed a couple of years.
Well, then
It's
you should have
okay.
cried over it.
I know.
You
I
have $1
should have.
million riding on it?
Yeah, with Nike.
Oh.
I'm just
You
saying.
forgot?
But listen, it happens. He's young. What are we doing?
Hold on.
You gonna hit me with the soap opera? The soap opera?
Okay, the only thing I
At least
didn't
make
like.
some noise.
No, you gotta cry if you're gonna
something.
cry. Don't do that. You got a headache or you
Yeah, what
crying?
we
Like which one?
doing? Yeah,
cry. But don't snub me and then expect me to be fine with it. That's not fair.
Yeah, but
you're more invested.
My mom called. She cried. So then.
Damn, I thought I was cold.
It's
Come
nothing wrong
on,
with
man.
They cry with
Rod
a big
Strickland
loss.
ain't never made it.
You cry over a big loss. I could cry over the loss of an all-star.
Rod
And
Strickland
$1 million. Listen. All right, let's get to Darnell's question of the day. Darnell, take it away.
It's Darnell. My guy. My question of the day. My guy. My question of the day. 285 pounds.
Just one more.
You only get one early. We needed one more.
Right.
up.
All right, y'all, so check this out. So a few days ago, Drake was spotted at a McDonald's out here in L.A., and word on the street was he tipped two of the employees $10,000 apiece. Now, $10,000.
Yeah.
But now people are coming out saying it actually wasn't $10,000, it was $100 apiece. But either way, it's still a lot of money to tip at a McDonald's.
Yeah.
All three of you guys are famous, and I'm sure every time you go out, everyone recognizes you. Is it extra pressure to make sure you tip well because of that being famous?
First of all, what did you get from McDonald's? I just get fries.
You ain't got to tip at
We don't really
McDonald's.
want too much food.
Right.
Nah, just kidding. No, I mean, listen, I do tip, and it's not because
How well?
we make money.
How well?
Yeah,
What's your
How well
percentage?
I'm the lowest I go is 20.
Yeah, that's same. And
The
is
lowest I
it
go
because
is-
of the pressure because of who we are?
No, you know what?
Yeah, it is.
Jim Herrick, who I love to death, Coach Herrick. My stepfather, my father, like they were just gentlemen like that, right? A person of service is helping you out, this, that, whatever.
But they also get a base salary. I know it's low, but hey, get it with your muscle. If you ain't giving me good service, you don't deserve a good tip.
And I'm harsh.
That's my mindset, but I always give you 20%. But if you give me bad
I'm
service,
harsh.
I will take the 2 off and give you 0%.
And I'm harsh.
I hate to even talk about.
What we doing?
I'm very random with my tips. 20 is a good tip for me.
Yeah.
There you go.
If I get bad service, I'll drop down to 12.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
And if I like the waitress, I may go as high as 50 to 75%.
You got a whole game plan right now.
Not just being honest.
You like-
I'm being honest. Because I can sit here and tell some stories. Uncle Jimmy will be here, and he can tell some stories.
Yes.
There was a spot I used to love in Kansas City called Diamond Joe's. And they had a waitress there. I might go as high as 300% on the tip.
Yeah.
I was half damn near going broke in Kansas City, funding whatever.
Yes. Light bill. You got a light bill?
My stepfather was big on it. He told me, listen, if you bad, I'm going to tip you, all right? Don't smoke in bed when you're tired. That's your tip. That's it.
Fasten your seatbelt when we get in this car. That's your tip.
That's your tip.
I once tipped a waitress because I was in the zone single, all the chains on, feeling it, and I was like, I got to get over this hump. You know what I'm saying? I need her to know me.
Yeah.
I gave her $2,000 one time.
Ooh!
And I don't think I ate but like some fries or something. I was like, here you go. It worked too. It worked.
You don't remember my name?
I hope you got a number at least.
Number? Oh, man. I didn't say $20. I said 2,000. It worked. Darnell. That's Darnell.
Yeah.
2K.
All right, welcome back. Whitlock and Wiley. TJ Houshmandzadeh is back. Let's move to Pittsburgh, where the Steelers are trying to figure things out after a drama-filled year that ended with the team missing the playoffs. Now, rising star receiver Juju Smith-Schuster says the team needs to stop acting like divas and the Kardashians. And a former Steelers star, Hines Ward, compared them unfavorably to one of their division rivals.
When we're talking about the Steelers off the field, more than what we're talking about the Steelers on the field, it's problems. I mean, I just look at, you remember those Cincinnati Bengals when they were worrying about the shenanigans with Ocho Cinco and TJ? That's who the Steelers are now. You got Mike Tomlin kind of treating this player a little different. To me, that's all a recipe for disaster, and you just open up a can of worms, and it starts with the head coach. When you have all that talent and you don't make it to the playoffs, then that's a reflection of the head coach.
Damn, Hines Ward, really? For real?
Get him.
Damn.
Get him.
You know what, Hines Ward, no. Hines Ward kind of went after both of y'all. He called TJ out by name, but he's basically saying, look, man, Mike Tomlin deserves some of this smoke, Marcellus. He deserves some pressure for this culture.
Well, since there's smoke, there's enough smoke to go around. Gonna check Hines Ward's shoes. I bet he got on flip-flops because he sure be going back and forth on this one. Here we go, Hines Ward. The culture that you built and the culture that Juju Smith-Schuster is talking about that he's a part of should be handled internally, not externally. The remedy to this situation is not gonna be you trying to shut us up in the media about it. It's gonna be you guys having different courses of action. Let me start with that. Hines Ward. Hines Ward was a tremendous player to me. Borderline Hall of Famer, wherever you want to put him, he was a tremendous player. He had his own issues. Arrested, DUIs, gunpoint, like from the police. Like,
He act like we forgot those.
No. Say, I never get up here. I love the fact that I was good, bad, and great and ugly in the league because I could go every place where you want to go. You ain't going to make me feel bad, but you better watch where you're throwing them stones. So Hines Ward had his issues, but the culture was fine then, huh? Why? Because you won a Super Bowl? Okay, that's cool. This team is talented. They don't make the playoffs. All of a sudden, it's a culture issue. Maybe there's other things outlining what's wrong with this team. There is too much noise coming from there. Agreed. But to sit there and act like teams can't still succeed with noise is absurd to me. I don't understand the shots that he's taking because there's no choir boy team out there.
Juju just said who's a part of that team.
Listening to you.
We got to quit being the Kardashians.
That just shows Juju is watching this show for sure.
That means he's in that locker room and he can see the Kardashians.
This is what people don't realize. Pretty much every team has something that's going on. Maybe not to this extent to where every player on the team, the best players are treated differently, but they have to fall within a team scope because every personality is different. You can't treat the two different players the same way. They should operate on the same set of rules, but we're going to treat each other a little differently. That's just how it is. They didn't win, and it always is going to start at Tomlin and Roethlisberger because he's a quarterback. Once he came out and criticized Antonio Brown, which we've discussed in past shows, it creates tension. It creates animosity. Like, if you really felt that way, pull me to the side.
Right.
You don't have to go on your radio show and say X, Y. Pull me to the side. We can talk about this, and I might not like it, but I can respect it. I won't come back at you publicly like you did me. It's because they didn't make the playoffs. But I'm not going to fire shots at Hines Ward because when I saw that, I just started replaying all the things that he did in his past.
I did.
Just because they didn't have a successful season, it's not, when they were – this was going on last year. This was going on when they won Super Bowls.
And again, and I'm not trying to gas you up. I don't remember I don't remember you having problems in Cincinnati. When I think of Cincinnati problems, I think of Chad Johnson, and then I think of T.O. Late. You don't see any similarities between the drama and the upheaval with the Steelers? That doesn't remind you of some of the Bengals teams that underachieved despite having talent?
It was completely different because we were having guys getting arrested, getting suspended. We had a lot of that going on. The similarities are with Chad and AB, I can see that. kind of operate on your own set of rules. You show up late, you don't show up. That happened. And in this day and age in the social media area, it'd be out like that. And that never really came out. I remember one time we were playing the Steelers. It was a Saturday night. We're in Pittsburgh. Saturday means before the game. Chad don't show up. He not even there. Chad's my roommate on every road game. Where Chad? Chad in the room sleep. He just didn't want to come to the meeting. He came, they went and got him. He came to the meeting. He sat in the meeting like, just like this. And the coach, offensive coordinator, Bob Brakowski, was like, Chad, you going to sit up? He was like, nah, I don't want to be here. They kicked him up out of there, said he wasn't playing. Sunday morning, we walk into the locker room, Chad was there. He playing. And so that happened a lot.
That don't sound like Pittsburgh. That sounds like Pittsburgh.
Right, but what I'm saying is...
Sound like New England, too. Malcolm Butler. It happens.
Pittsburgh was winning, and so these things are acceptable when you make the playoffs. Now that they don't make the playoffs, now it's a problem. You put up with it when you're successful, but you got to nip it in the bud immediately, and that's what Juju is saying is, I don't want to be that guy because now I see AB do it. If I have any of that in my character, that might be me in the future.
It's interesting. I mean, look, there have been Super Bowl teams, participants from Atlanta, Oakland. We all know the indiscretions of individuals getting in trouble. Winning teams have trouble. Losing teams have trouble, and it gets exposed and exaggerated. But I'm just trying to say there are some commonalities between New England and all the issues and dysfunction. And we read the article at length, 10,000-word article last year about all the issues in New England. Like everywhere, they have issues. Why is it so big in Pittsburgh?
Because to me, Marcellus, I think what y'all are missing and what y'all are saying is like, you might occasionally eat fast food. I have a fast food problem. And so it's like the New England may have an occasional McDonald's, but they're not dining out on it every night like the Pittsburgh Steelers. And maybe that's why the Steelers aren't having the kind of consistent success of the New England Patriots.
And you know what it really is? I totally respect what you just said and agree, actually. It's the people that are getting into the issues in Pittsburgh. When it's Le'Veon, who's not even there, and that was the beginning of the season noise. Then Roethlisberger took it in the middle of the season, talking about his teammates on his radio show, despite a lot of players having radio shows and not going in on their teammates. And then the latter part of the season was AB. Those are their biggest three stars. I understand why the noise is so excessive, but I also want to make sure we don't materialize noise into exactly in correlation wins and losses. I've seen noisy teams win. I've seen great character teams lose. And I just want to make sure we keep that balance because now we got Juju Smith, who's not even a participant in the noise, talking about the noise, which is only going to make it noisier.
He's right there and witnessing it, and I think
But don't try and separate yourself from it. And Hines certainly can't, but Hines is trying. But Juju can't separate yourself from it because you're a part of it. You're the brother. If you're the fixer, fix it in there. Don't fix it out here.
Mike Tomlin could have stopped it all. He knew when Le'Veon Bell didn't report, the whole locker room was going to be asked questions of, you know, how do you guys feel? That Wednesday morning meeting or Monday, whenever it was, guys, when they ask you about Le'Veon, he's not here. We wish him the best. We wish he was here. That's what should have occurred.
Yeah, real talk.
That was the beginning of the end. Never once have we seen the offensive line or just players in general talk about another player not showing up because he's trying to get a contract. Normally, the players back each other when it comes to contract and money. That was the beginning of the end, and then it just started to snowball throughout the season.
All right, let's move to the Cowboys, who made some coaching moves this week, naming Kellen Moore offensive coordinator and John Kitna quarterbacks coach, but they have yet to give head coach Jason Garrett a contract extension and reportedly aren't likely to before the season starts. Jerry Jones has praised Garrett all year, but this week declined to talk about the coach's future with the team and said of his record, quote, "It's not enough. It's been good, but it's not been good enough." Basically, I like what Jerry's doing here. I think it was Adam Schefter who reported that they're not going to give Jason Garrett a contract extension. They need to put pressure on Jason Garrett. And it's like, hey, man, we got you Amari Cooper. We got you an experienced quarterback going into his 4th or 5th year. We built you a hell of a defense. We've given you that personnel. It's now time to win. And they got to win more than one playoff game next year for Jason Garrett to keep his job?
I respect the intent by Jerry Jones, but this is a mishandling of his situation. There's a reason why we talk about lame duck coaches and the fact that it's a rarity in the league. It's a rarity because you're setting them up for failure. You're not setting them up for failure in terms of putting pressure on them, like you said. You're setting them up for failure in adversarial situations and moments of conflict in that locker room and on that field when a player who is sitting there with a multi-year contract is getting barked at or getting looked at or getting chastised by one Jason Garrett who doesn't even have the security himself. And I've been in those moments before. And I'm a guy of high character. I'm a nice guy. I laugh at any time you want to fight. I'm going to laugh first. But it's still, when I was getting the big dough and you were just a dude or you just were sitting there trying to prove something, oh, I got the leverage. I got the moments. And this is what's going to happen. Jason Garrett is going to get undermined by a team that's like, the owner ain't even in on you. So why should I be all in on you? It sounds like you're putting pressure on him in a positive way, but you're really cutting off his feet from underneath him.
I like it just because it happens to players all the time. And Jerry Jones is what, if he doesn't win, if Jason Garrett doesn't win 2 playoff games, he's gone. Now, to your point, the reason the Cowboys should not have that problem, they really, aside from the vets up front, they really don't have a lot of high-paid guys that they got guys that are looking for deals that are going to be on their best behavior. Dak, Zeke, Amari Cooper, Lawrence, Van Der Esch, Jalen, all these guys, Byron Jones, they're looking for deals. They're going to be on their best behavior, like yes, sir, no, sir type of thing, because they want to get paid. And if they play well, then they'll get paid. Jason Garrett will get an extension, but it ain't looking good.
You said it always works on players. You know why? It's supposed to work on players in the pecking order in the way that the dynamic is. They have authority over us. So they want to keep us like, hey, you know what? Any second you could be gone. But when it is flipped and now the authority figure, the coach, doesn't have that same power built into his role, there's a problem. And I just think that this is a backwards way of approaching the situation. Give the guy the security and then say, go flex. And if you don't like it, I understand it's
he's not giving him the security because he doesn't wholeheartedly believe in Jason Garrett as the coach.
So why should the players?
But again, Marcel, I think the difference is the Dallas dynamic and culture is different. I don't think Jason Garrett's ever the guy to flex. The guy that does all the flexing is Jerry Jones. And so when a player bucks up, it's going to be Jerry that goes and sits down and talks to him. And Jerry has that kind of relationship with players like, hey, man, we are all in on 2019. We're trying to be in the 2020 Super Bowl, and we can't have this. You know what I've done for you. You know what we're trying to do. And look, he's got Zeke in his hip pocket. He stood behind Zeke in his darkest hour. He has stood behind Dak when the whole media, everybody thinks this guy isn't a franchise quarterback. He's got the 2 most important guys. Then he's got offensive linemen. That's where they've invested their money. Offensive line, we ain't about that.
This ain't Pittsburgh.
Right.
Right.
Not Pittsburgh. Right. And then what TJ said, you know what? Does he have some problematic maybe DeMarcus Lawrence or Randy Gregory, some problem children on the defensive line? I think he feels like they can handle that with that coach, Chris Richard and Rob Marinelli. I just think the dynamics in Dallas are different, and Jerry has so much leverage over the players that he does need to put a gun to Jason Garrett and like, hey, man, you got to perform.
Football is a great game of skill, greater game of will. You just cut off a lot of the buy-in. A lot of players not going to have the same buy-in with a coach that the owner doesn't even believe.
Hey, I like Kellen Moore, too, as a new coordinator. He's going to do well.
All right, welcome back, Whitlock and Wiley. We're joined now by our favorite Rambassador, Eric Dickerson, who's in Atlanta getting ready for the big game. Eric, you look like you got a...
What's up, guys?
You got a smile like you think what I think. The Rams are going to win big this weekend.
Man, it's Monday, and we already won. We already won. Isn't today Monday?
Hey, listen, I mean this almost jokingly, but if Todd Gurley wins his first Super Bowl here, does that make him the greatest Ram running back ever? Does that make him better than Lawrence McCutcheon?
Man, what's wrong with you over there? Can somebody fill in for Jason Whitlock, please? What you talking about, Jason? Come on. Let me tell you something. If Todd Gurley wins, if they win this Super Bowl, he's MVP. I'll most definitely give it to him. He can have the most famous Ram, the greatest Ram of all time. I'm good with that. I just want our football team to win this football game.
Okay, let's backtrack. Let's go knock this down a notch because there's been shots fired at the potential greatest Ram running back of all time in Melvin Gordon of the L.A. Chargers saying he's the best running back in Los Angeles. What do you make of that, Gordon or Gurley?
Hey, let me tell you something. It reminds me of when Marcus and I were in L.A., Marcus Allen and myself. You know, you pick them. You know, you pick your guy. Melvin Gordon is a great back. I mean, I like Melvin. He's a dynamic player. But we're talking about guys in the Super Bowl right now.
Oh.
No offense over there, Marcellus.
So what do you think? Let's be real. I love me some Todd Gurley, but NFC Championship game, the biggest moment of his NFL career to that point, and all intents and purposes, he got benched. It wasn't a health issue. He just got benched. What do you expect from Gurley this time around?
I think Todd will play well this time. You know, you have those days. I mean, all of us have. You can say, how do you bench him? How do you play bad in the NFC Championship game or the Super Bowl? Those days just come. You don't know when they're going to come. And you know, one thing, he felt he wasn't playing good. Sean McVay benched him. And he didn't, you didn't hear him crying about it on air to him, oh, man, I should have been in the game. It wasn't like that. The most important thing was the Rams to win that football game. And what it took, it needed them to win. And really, the running game was almost a non-factor in that game. It really came down to Jared Goff, how Jared Goff played. And Jared Goff played great in that football game in a place that you can't hear. It's hard to maneuver around. And you know that, Marcellus, how hard it is to play in that stadium. And to play against a quarterback like Drew Brees, and everybody said, well, you can't take Jared Goff over Drew Brees. Well, he performed better than Drew Brees did in that game.
Hey, listen, Eric, you and Marcellus all year were high on Sean McVay, and I wasn't. And it was actually the way Todd Gurley handled being bitched by Sean McVay is what made me like, holy cow, Sean McVay has the control and respect of this entire locker room. I was very impressed with that.
You know, I've been impressed with that all year. You know, even going back to last year, when you talk to players that have played under him, guys that know him, and say, Eric, this is a football guy. Not just a football guy. He takes the time to know his players, ask his players, what do you think? And you understand it. I mean, look, Sean knew that Todd wasn't playing well, and Todd knew he wasn't playing well. So other than hurt the football team, sometimes you have to sit down. That's what it's all about. I mean, and I told you this earlier this year. You, Jason, said, it's too many big personalities on his team. He's got Marcus Peters, he got Talib, he got Sue. You know, you're going to hear something. It ain't going to work out. Well, I asked you. You've heard nothing. This football team is a very close-knit football team. If something was going to come out, it came out after Todd got benched. He'd have been saying, I'm unhappy, I shouldn't have been benched. But you don't hear that kind of stuff coming from that locker room.
Now, Eric, you mentioned earlier Jared Goff, one of their stars, performed well in the NFC Championship game, outdueling Drew Brees. How you expect him to shine in the Super Bowl, bigger stage? How is he going to handle that spotlight?
Well, you know, I think like any player that's never played in the Super Bowl before, he'll be nervous, just like any guy. You know, before every game, you're nervous. You know, when the game starts, all of a sudden, you don't care if you're playing the Super Bowl, you're playing in a field in Sealy, Texas. It's football time. You don't worry about that, and that's what it comes down to. This is a big game. This is not just about Jared Goff. Remember, we have more than Jared. We have a lot of weapons, and a lot of weapons. Not just him. We can run the football. We can throw the football. We have defense. You know, Jared Goff did what Jared Goff had to do 2 weeks ago. And, you know, I said this morning on another show, they talked about, you know, Tom Brady this, Tom Brady that. I said, when they played in the Super Bowl last year, how can you take Nick Foles against Tom Brady? Well, Nick Foles won that football game. And so I'm taking Jared Goff against Tom Brady in this game.
Eric, I've been talking today, and one of my big points is why I believe in the Rams. You're never going to out-coach Bill Belichick. It's just not going to happen. Bill Belichick, generally speaking, out-coaches the other coach. But I think having Wade Phillips on this staff is the equalizer. You put Wade and Sean McVay together, now you have an equal of Bill Belichick.
Hey, Jason, man, you read my mind over here. That was going to be my next point, is what you just said. Wade Phillips and Sean McVay together is a dangerous match. Because, you know, Sean doesn't have to worry about the defense. The defense has been playing very well in the playoff games. I mean, they really have. They've come to play. You know, Talib has played well. Marcus Peters has played well. Sue has played well. You know, Aaron Donald is getting triple team, double team, and he's not making the sacks. He's making them have to double team and still getting pressure up the middle. So it's not always about the sacks, but most definitely with having both of those coaches, young coach and an older coach there, two heads are always better than one.
Hey, Eric, if the Rams win a Super Bowl this weekend and you get a Super Bowl ring, will you wear that ring?
Of course I wear that ring. I have a Super Bowl ring. The Rams play in St. Louis. I got one. But hey, you see, I wear my Hall of Fame ring, dog. That's the ring I wear right here. Yeah. See this ring here?
That's
I
right.
wear that ring. But yes, I would wear it for sure. Where's your Super Bowl ring at, Marcellus?
What's yours? We both got the same amount. You better not be wearing
Where's
that.
your Hall of Fame ring? Where's your Hall of Fame ring? Show it to me.
You know what? I'm glad you showed that Hall of Fame ring because there was a story in the Atlanta paper about some Hall of Famer that lost his ring at Magic City last night, and now we know it wasn't you.
Coming to the stage.
I don't go to those kind of places of debauchery. I don't do that kind of stuff anymore.
Well, I just read some story.
Anymore.
I just read a story about all the money they were making, so they ain't got none of your money.
They ain't got none of mine, I promise you. Not $1.
Oh, ED.
But I did go by and I said, that's Magic City.
And you was like, drive one more time so I can see it again. And drive a little closer.
It was bigger than it's smaller than I thought. I thought it was a big place. You know, when you go in that dark.
It's a small building, but it's big inside, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know.
BBW.
Uncle Jimmy's here to help us talk about our approval ratings for Patriots head coach Bill Belichick. Uncle Jimmy, welcome.
What up, Holmes?
Who are you, Ice Tube?
Ice Tube? Where your bike at?
Who are you? What is this?
What is it?
What?
Really? You like that now, right?
Yeah. What?
Hey, yo, ring ding dong. Thank God it's Friday. You understand what I'm saying? Ring ding dong.
Ring ding dong. Thank God.
So glad it's Friday.
Oh, okay.
See there, that's an Ice Cube reference. See there?
Oh.
See there? You know, you might want to renew.
Oh, you supposed to be Ice Cube right now?
It was a good day, bro. It was a good day.
That's the new Ice Cube, like 3.0. You should have been 1.0. We would have known. My bad.
You got jokes today.
Uncle Cube.
Let's get to a highlight from our discussion earlier about Bill Belichick. An all-time great TV show is about to air its final episode. Patriots Dynasty is signing off the air Sunday night. McVay is Luke Skywalker, and he's ready to slay New England's Darth Vader.
Belichick's going to have his wrinkle. He's going to force you to go to plan B. He's going to take away your best player. And then he's going to look at you and say, what you going to do now? Sean McVay, first time in this situation. There's an hour pregame festivities. The halftime is longer. There's so many adjustments to make beyond the game of football. I just think the Patriots, their experience, and the way that they're playing right now, they're going to be able to win this game.
We got some disagreement here.
Yeah.
I'm on the Rams. Marcellus is on the Patriots.
Flip-flop.
Uncle Jimmy, what's your take?
You done messed up my whole weekend, man.
How?
Yay.
I done sat here and done told you all week long that the Rams was going to jump Tom Brady into the Crips, the Bloods, the Gangster Disciples, Hell's Angels. I told you that the Rams going to beat Tom Brady back into the suburbs. And now you done blown it with your patented Jason Whitlock jinx. So now explain to me why you got to jump on my bandwagon.
Hold on, I thought the Whitlock jinx was only for the Chiefs, like KC. That's it.
Yeah.
Mark Ellis. Jason can jinx anything.
Anything.
When Jason was a kid, true story, man, true story. Jason cost me a date with Shirley Hempley. Beautiful young actress.
Oh, my. Shirley.
She played the waitress Shirley.
Yes.
And what was that? What's
happening?
What's happening? Yeah, what's happening?
What's happening?
And I can't get all into it right now, but Jason messed that up for me with his big mouth. He's a jinx. Come up calling her. Hey, how you doing, Miss Nail Carter?
Oh, I thought you were from Midwest and the South. How you get all the way to Cali back in the 70s? You lying. You lying.
Hey, man, back in the day, before it was even fashionable, Uncle Jimmy had one in every area code. You understand what I'm saying?
Ludicrous.
Yes, they say, hey, man, if the Greyhound made a stop in your city, chances are very, very great that Uncle Jimmy was making a stop somewhere at one of your auntie's house. I was more prolific than Hank Aaron.
Not even.
You know that phrase they had called "just touch them all"? That's about my love life.
Hey, man, get back on topic.
Focus.
So you're picking the Patriots now, I guess.
Hell to the no, Mr. Snuffleupagus. Man, Marcus Peters, Aqib Khalid. They ain't gonna let me down, man. You know, I call them boys Mac 10 and Dub C.
Okay.
You know, they my West Side Connection boys. You remember West Side Connection?
Hell yeah. Doo-doo,
Yeah.
doo-doo.
You remember Gangsta Nation?
Gangsta.
Hey, Marcus Peters, Aqib Khalid been in there updating it a little bit. Hey, it's gonna be some hoe banging going on, man.
Who banging? Who banging?
Yeah, it's going on. For real.
There you go.
Look here, bro. They go, hey, look, you do know how I go. They be like, da. They gonna be like, this game right here is really rough. Them Rams out there about to bust. The Patriots is afraid of us. We have no fear, afraid of what? And on Sunday we coming up. Edelman runs his mouth, but don't run up. When Gurley come through, he runs it up. We coming through, don't push your luck. Huh? It's the West Side. Hey. Throw it up for me, nephew. Throw it up. Come on, show you got some. Oh, my God, that's the damn Star Trek symbol, man. Oh, damn. You done embarrassed Kansas City, man. He threw up the Star Trek symbol.
Hey, man, can I get to my approval ratings?
Oh, Tech 9, he's on the phone.
Let me get to the approval rating for Bill
Know
Belichick.
Star Trek.
I still got him at 100, 25 in all categories.
100 what?
I'm not second guessing Bill Belichick. I think they're gonna lose, but I'm not second.
You gonna third, fourth,
Perfect
fifth
score.
guess his character? No. I mean,
No.
dates can he be involved with? Nah, man. I love Bill Belichick. Amazing coach. Has some issues there. Authenticity, the reason I have him down so low, he is a real funny dude with personality in real life, and he shows none of that. So he's not authentic when he's at the podium and mumbling like that. So no, Belichick's not a perfect coach. but
He's
he
a
is
perfect coach. He beat up my Chiefs.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Now, Monday, I may have a whole different story.
We know
But
that.
today, I got him at 25, perfect in all categories. Uncle Jimmy, great job.